The area where this would have connected with the Ossaran DLC is my guess. Man, don't say it like that, because I feel so frustrated, because it was so clear that was meant to be a DLC. All of the markers were there, that was going to be something else. That was going to lead somewhere. You were going to get to go to the Osram area. The claim, I believe it was. And then, nope. Hello. Don't mind me. Maybe if the PC version does well, we'll get it. I don't know at this point, because it's not like the PS4 version didn't do well. Oh dear me. That's death down there. Now is not the time to get stuck on things. Right, we're about to land on it, basically. There we go. It depicts a proud predatory animal. Wolf. Bit of Lawbit. Will tourists return? Date, March 1st, 2045. I suspect not. Okay. Data corruption, partial. Mammoth Hot Springs. What does WY stand for? Roosevelt. Wyoming. Thank you. Roosevelt Arch soars over the road to the north entrance of Yellowstone National Park. In the park's heyday, more than 100,000 visitors each month passed below this arch on their way to visit such celebrated landmarks as the geyser Old Faithful, the mighty Yellowstone River, and the vibrant Grand Prismatic Pools. Since President Ulysses S. Grant signed an act of dedication to create Yellowstone National Park in 1872, it has survived forest fires, world wars, and earthquakes to be enjoyed by nature lovers for more than 150 years, until environmental concerns drove the entire world into chaos. In 2031, the federal government withdrew funding from the park and transferred ownership to the state of Wyoming, after which the rate of visitation slowed to a trickle. Old Faithful's dependable eruptions went unobserved, and Mammoth Hot Springs Hotel, where guests once devoured bison meatballs, sat empty for years, blankly staring across an expanse of wilderness. The 30s saw several attempts to privatize the park. Many companies, including the powerful Faro Automated Solutions, made bids to purchase its land. After Faro's proposal was abruptly withdrawn in 2040, weakened federal protections on public parks were restored, coinciding with the easing of climate change through technological means. As the world claws back, so too will Yellowstone. As of next week, the park will be restored to the United States government, with Faro Automated Solutions returning to finance the handoff, as well as providing funding for as-yet unspecified new facilities. Tourism is already up in advance of these proceedings, and soon, Mammoth Hot Springs Hotel and the park's walkways will bustle with life again. We look forward to your data corrupted. I'm sure you do look forward to it, my corrupted data. Suits you. Can we jump up there? Oh, that's a shame. Not that it goes anywhere. Alright, we've got Trampler. We've got Tower. Right there. But where I want to be is right here. So don't mind me. Shakes my head. Why would you look forward to data corruption? I don't know. Maybe if you're a heretic. That is a Trampler, a couple of tramplers actually. There are a lot of these things here. Quite close to each other. That might be a bit of a tricky one for me to deal with. Let's go and grab this pigment though before I do anything else. It's really cool when in chat people comment on having visited some of the places where Aloy is right now. I really, really like that. There we go. One of the last pigments. I think the last but one. A coloured residue formed on old world metal. A pigment used for Banuku paintings.
Chill almost feels like sunburn.
Right, we've got one. There's another one there, two. Wow, there's so many of these right here. All leading up to this one trader. I might just do these as I come back through, because it feels like I'm going to have to, one way or t'other. Now, if I head back here, I can head up, grab that last pigment, head back down, grab that last fire. And then I've got one Montana Recreations to pick up from this fire. And then I think we might actually have all of the collectibles. I mean, there's loads of blue gleam. Loads of blue gleam for me to collect. Truly. But yeah, we won't tackle the tower just yet. Unless that is a quest. Is it a quest? No. I don't think so. No. Okay. Let's get over here then. Hop. Any chance of ferret camp? Oh, always chance of ferret camp. There's actually going to be a ferret camp really soon because Bonus Mac's daughter sent me a video on Twitter really politely asking for one. I was like, oh. It was just incredibly genuine and polite. It was really nice. It's like, okay, fair enough. I don't want to play with you, eh? How about we don't? Okay, you've skedaddled. Good. I need to be going this direction. Whop. Unfortunately, it appears to be the direction I'm pointing in. Actually, no, we're good. We're good. It's heading in a different direction, so I'm fine. Maybe, Bilal. You won't know unless you try.
Might need that.
Well, we might. Oh, sunrise is coming. Actually, no. It's not. I don't think it's sunrise. Maybe it is. Heavy clouds. What are you? Badger. Don't really want to take out a badger. Goats. At least I don't think I need to take down a badger, so... Oh, I think I can see what I'm looking for. But... no, here we are. Okay. Now this is an interesting one. There are ropes all over the place. Now this is the thing. We won't know if there's a quest and sometimes until we get close. Remember Gwyn, was it, in Cargelant? The Banuk who drank the blood of machines? So many people said I've never seen anyone complete this quest. I was like, wow, really? Is it like really rare or something? But I think it's just that people didn't tend to walk past that road. They fast traveled everywhere, which is why I try not to fast travel unless I know the place I'm fast traveling to. And I've approached it from that direction before. Where am I going? Where are you leading me, game? Okay, let's have a look. It is apparently here somewhere. Destroyed machine, the Watcher. Let's look around. Maybe up top here. Let's try going up. Ah, yeah, there we are.
Something Sakuli can use.
Indeed. There we are. A crystalline formation, light in shade. Now then, with that done, we probably would have uncovered any quest there. It's time to head back down, grab this fire. Not literally, you understand? You should never try to pick up fire. Not unless you're one of the God Emperor's chosen, in which case, by all means. Or you have embraced the purity of steel and the weakness of flesh, cast it off, and are now one of the Omnicized chosen. Some heretics might say they are one and the same. They would be wrong. Neil is so on his own moral compass. It's fascinating to see how he sees the world. I wouldn't necessarily say that Neil had a moral compass, and if he did, someone has stuck a magnet on the underside. It's Neil is a fascinating character, though. I do really, really enjoy Neil. I'm going to be honest. I adore Neil as a character, but yeah, I don't think the term morality applies to Neil. Kind of want to continue on down this route. It will allow me to grab a... Hello. Oh, you're the one that I released. Cool. Enjoy your path, my wandering friend. Should be blue gleam around here somewhere. Go. May as well grab this.
Blue gleam. Or frozen machine fluid.
Right, now I need to be over here right now. Something I always underestimate is just how much I enjoy just wandering around. I'm going the wrong way. How much I enjoy wandering around in the world. I'm in really no rush to just hop between the fire pits, grab everything, move on with the story. I'm just genuinely just... This is such a pleasant game to play. There are a lot... I say there aren't a lot. There are actually a lot of games with that. It's true. But... I don't know. There's games that you enjoy because of the game mechanics. There's games that you enjoy because of the atmosphere. There's games that you enjoy for the act of playing them. Like, it's a very satisfying game loop.
Uh-oh. Someone or something killed these people.
Wow. That's not good. Yeah, that's what I mean, beloved. I don't mind wandering, more or less, without purpose in this game. And there aren't a lot of games where that's true. We've got a summon over there, but this is interesting. Now, there is a tower right there. I probably want to get close enough to activate it, but let's head up into the blue gloom. It's back here, but yeah, I really don't mind just playing this game, just enjoying it, wandering around. It was kind of like that with Death Stranding. I was completely okay with just wandering around in that game. And there have been times when I've wanted to go back just to wander around, just to do more fetch quests for people, just not because I wanted to get the fetch quests and unlock stuff, but just because I wanted to do more of just loading Sam up and going for a wander. It was such a cathartic experience. And I get much the same in this one. That's all of the blue gloom done. Let's try and get at least close enough to this that I activate it. And I can see it more clearly on the map.
Easy.
Trader just up top. Oh, actually, I wonder if this trader will have anything to say about those native people back there. Hello. But a power shot bow. How far off are we? We're only 5 off. Wow, that's actually pretty good. Ubisoft have caused a little bit of an uproar. Basically, Bilal was mentioning they've been enjoying running around the Greek Isles in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And Unspace Command asked if Ubisoft didn't cause a massive uproar with their vague new terms of service. And they have a little bit. For your average player, it's not going to matter. But for content creators, the terms of service are incredibly free with what... Basically, if you use it at all, then if you produce any content on it, they own that content. Not only do they own that content, you are liable if, like, for example, you signed a license with someone, like, they can use your content in any way, transform it in any way. If, for example, you used some music in it because you weren't going to monetize the content, it was within the license of that music to use it. Like, it had some sort of Creative Commons thing. They stipulate in there that if you produce content with their assets, then you effectively guarantee that you have the rights to everything in the content you create, which now includes that music, that you transfer those rights to them, and that if they use it in any capacity, if there is an issue, you're liable for it. So if they get sued because they used it to as a trailer for something, and that was effectively commercial, and the rights holder of the music sued them for it because they didn't say that they could use it for commercial, they can say, well, they guaranteed that we could use it in any way, so they could then sue you effectively to pay whatever they were sued for in regards to the suit for them using the music in a way that wasn't allowed. Also, if your face appears in it in any way, then they have the rights to that and can use your likeness in any way. And that includes anyone else in it. So, for example, if you shot a video and it was for your channel, or you were doing something with it and your likeness appeared in it, They can now use that in any way because you've effectively completely given them a license for it. But that also counts for anyone else in the video with it. It was bonkers, absolutely bonkers when I was going through that. It was a little like, wow, really? It's, dear Lord. Yeah, the Ubisoft owns your soul now comments start to make sense when you realize
These are helpful.
that
Bitter, though.
they have really, really kind of to a ridiculous degree said that by using their software, if you create anything from it, you're basically signing everything in that across to them. It is quite extensive. Hey! My favorite new soundtrack is back. I mean, if you're let's be quite honest though, for a general user who's just playing the game, it's probably not going to be a thing. It's not going to be an issue. If they produce any content though, if they mod it in any way, if they produce a map in any capacity, then it would be a little bit more of a thing that a general user might come a cropper of. But outside of that, no. It's generally only going to target creators. I would say. Again, though, if someone else was making content and you were part of that, then effectively you have now been signed over as a part of that content. And if you ever take up, take Ubisoft up on that and they're like, well, hang on, use this in a way that I didn't give you rights, that will ultimately fall back on the person who made the content, not on Ubisoft. Yes, what this essentially means is that if you have other content creators, family members or friends in your streams or videos, Ubisoft owns the rights to their image as well. Yeah. It is pretty crazy. Now, in Europe, I strongly suspect Ubisoft would find that very difficult to push through a court of law. Europe takes a much more... you literally can't sign away certain things. No matter... Like, if a terms of service or a license is too ridiculous, then it's basically null and void. You can't... It doesn't matter what you signed, what you agreed to. After a certain point, it's like, yeah, this is non-enforceable, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they even put this in writing, so it doesn't matter that you signed it. But that's not always the case. I want the other one here. I'll do. Where's it going to be? Should be a couple more here. But yeah, it's really, really obnoxious, and it's kind of worrying that they are trying that, because it
I gotta watch my fingers.
smacks more of them just trying to capitalize on people not understanding, which is a particularly underhanded way of doing business in my opinion. But oh well. It's one of those things. I don't actually generally play many Ubisoft games, and it's since all of that, playing Anno has dropped significantly lower on my list of things to do. I'm not going to lie, I'm a massive Anno fan, so I do genuinely want to play it, but I will probably not, based on that EULA. I have played Ubisoft games on my channel before, but they existed prior to the... there we go. Prior to the
A little figure of them.
EULA change, and as such I haven't agreed to it. If I were to play something new, I'm not sure how that would affect my older content based on it being produced prior to the EULA, because generally speaking, outside of anywhere but the US, if you change the EULA after the fact, even if you put in a clause saying, yeah, you basically agree to any forward changes, it's not enforceable. Because that's just dumb. Depicts a heavy trampler-like animal.
Strange animal.
Oh, there we go. Now, I do believe the amount of blue gleam we have is probably... Yeah, we've got 12. And we only need 14. Should we go and grab some more blue gleam? Yes, we probably should. There's enough over there that if I'd gotten that, then we would have enough. It's kind of annoying, but... Oh well. There's a stupid amount of blue gleam up there. Yikes. Okay, let's go over there. That being said, there's also loads of blue gleam up there. Yeah, we're going to go up the mountain. So I don't think I've been up there. Ubisoft, all your base all belong to us now. Yeah, pretty much. And yes, anyone who doesn't agree, basically if you use Uplay, you will be forced to agree or not agree to the terms and conditions. If you don't agree, which I can't imagine a sensible person agreeing, you lose your Uplay account. That's it. No refunds, nothing. Any games associated with it are now gone. You don't... Unfortunately, you did agree to that when you bought them. That was part of the subscription license that Uplay operates with. You can disagree to the updated Ubisoft terms and conditions, in which case, fair enough. Anything, and I imagine, they wouldn't even try to realistically try and say, well, you made this stuff before, but, we changed our terms of service. They would probably just be like, okay, well, all right, fair enough. You didn't agree to it, so we can't do anything about it. But you no longer have your account, and any games you had on it are no longer there. Or rather, you can't use them, so. But I'm going to be honest, that's basically what Steam is. If you do something that negates Steam's license, or rather you disagree with any updated user license, then you're going to lose access to Steam. And once you lose access to the Steam client, your Steam account, you lose access to the games on it. For me, that would be many thousands of pounds worth of games. Yeah. The worst part of all of this is that if you don't agree to new terms of service by 12th of August 2020, you'll lose access to the company's services, which includes digital Ubisoft games and anything that has anything to do with Uplay. So basically everything. Yeah, pretty much. That is more or less, in a nutshell, what will happen. You will lose anything you had connected to it. And I know it sucks, but again, this is when the EU implemented the whole thing with software licenses, because I forget who it was. I think it was Canon. Was trying to push their luck a little bit with regards to licensing on printer software, and the company was like, "Come on, we bought the printer." And the software that came with, you can't. This is ridiculous. We own this. This is our printer and our software that runs this printer. You can't disallow us use of that. And they kind of pushed their luck, and the European courts came in and said, "Well, no, that's just dumb. If someone buys the software, they own the software. They don't need. You don't need to give them updates and stuff, but they own that software that they bought." This idea of it being a license is just ridiculous. You're charging as much as a full product, so it's a full product. And when that was announced, that was the ruling, Steam very quickly changed their license from it being a license agreement for the software to being a subscription license. You are subscribed to this service, and effectively, the games on the Steam service are microtransactions. You have paid a microtransaction to unlock a different part of the Steam service. You don't own the games. You are subscribed to Steam. The games are a part of that subscription. And should you ever fall afoul of their terms of service, or just decide that you don't like something in that and don't want to continue with it, you lose access to everything in Steam because it is a part of the subscription. It is effectively a microtransaction. Right, we've got everything we need, and it is time now for us to jump back at long last. Sorry, that was a kind of a long ranty thing. I'm not really ranting about it. Rather, it's more a case of this is the way it is. Yes, Neophia, I have been taking little drinks here and there while we're talking. Harishizaku. I made 30 septendecillion paperclips whilst watching this stream on my other monitor. Good night, Internet. It's past my bedtime. Take care. Were you playing some sort of idle game, I imagine, by 30 septendecillion? I have no idea what idle game it is.
Why'd he try to kill the Sun King?
So,
What reason?
but I play a lot of idle games.
No, don't want to face my father.
Greetings, Aavak. Long time no see. Last time I saw you live streaming was when you were playing Hob. Good to see you are going well. Oh, thank you very much, Tadio Yoshioa. I hope I said your name right. Man, it's been ages since I played Hob. Really enjoyed that game too. I feel that my coverage of it on
what's he thinking? Letting Derval live?
I feel that my coverage of it on YouTube, my YouTube streaming rig was not good enough. I'm really tempted to play that game again, but with all of the equipment I've got now, it would be a much smoother, much nicer viewing experience. Right, let's head on back then. We need to be going this way.
Would invent a gadget.
Paperclip clicker does to places that you don't expect. Goes to places you don't expect. The best incremental games do. I mean, it's like Cookie Clicker. You know, all of a sudden the Grandma Apocalypse. No one really saw that one coming, but yeah, there's all sorts of amazing little idle games. They build up like every other idle game that's ever been idled, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the heck? I'm in some sort of roguelike adventure. This is amazing. Hello.
Is this what...
Hush, hush. A shaman's secrets are not spoken aloud.
Is this what you wanted me to find?
Bind it to your spear. Use it to attach this for now. You'll find more, I'm sure.
Why are you helping me?
The blue light is fading. The machine songs are ending, and what does the conclave do? They sit, they chant, they observe. No more. We must fight for it. And you are a fighter. We share a cause.
I'm not sure we do. I'm not even sure what the cause is. But I'm grateful.
No need for thanks. Only action.
Now I can attach modification parts to my spear. Works for me. Might as well get started improving my spear.
All right. Fantastic. I approve. So get those out of the way. Huh. Okay, can't take you. Can take you. You. All of you. You're going to be dropped. There we go. Why is that? Got an exclamation mark? I don't understand. We're okay. We can update our spear. I'm glad you picked this game you're playing now, as it's one of the best stories I've seen in a long time. That is pretty much how I've been going with it, yeah, Tadia. I have adored this game since I first started playing it. Right, this melee weapon has a quick light attack. The blade has been sharpened for additional damage. Indeed, it has some modifications. Alright. Empty slot. I've got a couple of really nice modifications. Okay, I guess this one's the one we're going to use. So we've got 27% extra damage with it. Now that is quite nice. It's the only thing that I've had to be able to do that with. Okay, that's the rocks that I wanted to drop. Secret Shade. Alright, next quest. Prove yourself to the Werak. The mountain that fell. Go to the Bitter Climb. Okay, that's the main quest. Or the Werak. Well, I kind of want to... Oh, got some more blue beam. I want to head back to the... There we go. Speciality Merchant. We would very much like to go and chat with our friend about Montana Recreations. Hey, Shadowhunter! I'm glad you're happy to see HCD back. I'm glad to be back. Though, just as an FYI, we're 45 minutes past the point where I was intending to end the stream. I don't intend to end the stream yet, but from this point forward, it could happen at any time. Keep your eyes peeled for any locations where it would physically hurt. Your guts would churn a little bit because we just reached some amazing point in the plot, and then all of a sudden it would end. If you sense that coming, if there's that little scratch of dread, the whisper of disquiet, the siren song of entropy and discord, like a nightmarish lullaby at the back of your consciousness, like some eldritch being is trying to wrap its tentacled mandibles around and dig them inside your eye sockets and scoop out your eyeballs. That is probably where I'm going to end the stream. Because I can't pass up a good place to wrap up and leave a massive cliffhanger. It's literally impossible. I'm basically addicted to it. You mean right now, Aavak? No, not right now. It's too obvious. Too easy.
I can't.
Oh, Dark Aavak, we love you too.
I can't feel much of anything in this.
Today, Aavak streams for you Horizon Zero Dawn, brought to you by Montana Recreations. I know, right?
Care to talk about these figurines of yours?
They're not really mine, but I've always got time to talk about them.
I would
There
like
you
to trade
go,
some.
Anjuk. That should be the last of the figurines.
Okay. So... I've already had these ones. Yeah, yes, I have. So, I'll grab that. This, and indeed that. There we go.
By the blue light, I didn't know if I'd ever see the whole collection reunited. And look at them. They're beautiful. You've done a great thing, Aloy. These may represent the last record that any of these beasts ever lived. Take this. It's the least I can do. And come back anytime. I and our animal friends await your return.
Oh, bless. Yeah, I can't trade anything else. Okay.
That's all I need to know.
Are you sure? You can never learn too much.
That's true, but I would like to actually look at all of these. Oh, they are actually all... No, I think they were all there before, so... Fairly certain we've seen the base. Should we go through them all? Because I've got to be honest, I don't remember entirely which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't. I'm fairly certain I haven't seen you. Fairly certain... Haven't seen you. And haven't seen you. Oops. You. And I think this one as well. We'll go through them all, shall we?
Alcis, the noble moose. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
The horns grow like trees. Of course, this moose used those bizarre growths to blend in with its forest home.
I love Endruk's responses. They're amazing.
Canis lupus, the enigmatic gray wolf. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Could it be that these wolves and our foxes are the same somehow? Perhaps after hundreds of winters. No, that's ridiculous.
Well, you're on the right track. Don't give up, Endruk. I mean, you're not. Technically, what you're suggesting is not right, but the mechanics by which you are suggesting it are on the right path. Keep going. Oh, hey, Leafin. Hey, and thank you very much, Bilal, for the gift sub to Leafin.
Otocolius virginianus, the majestic mule deer. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Not built like a predator, but perhaps it needed those horns to take down its prey in the absence of sharp fangs.
Look for the eyes, Endruk. Look for the eyes.
Ursus arctos, the menacing grizzly bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Those claws look like they could rip someone in half.
Perhaps in its youth, but you heard Montana Recreations. He said it's grizzled, old. Its hunting days are behind it.
I see where you're going with that, Endruk, but maybe taking it a bit less literally.
Bison, bison, bison. That's the actual Latin name of the regal American bison. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Latin? Perhaps that's some sort of old world custom in which one repeats the name of a particularly revered animal.
Close enough.
Puma concalor, the fearsome cougar. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Its coat is sand-colored. Could it have been a burrowing animal? Perhaps those teeth were only used for digging.
Then why wouldn't it be its claws?
Ursus americanus, the magnificent American black bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
How would you like to find yourself cornered by that thing?
I suspect I'd like it very much indeed. What a beautiful beast you were.
You're marvelous, Endruk. You truly are. The enthusiasm you have for it is endearing and infectious.